Sandra Kirkland, Manager of Professional Development for Royal LePage Real Estate Services. It's been a really exciting week this week. Our boards and associations have been working overtime to provide us with new tools and guidelines so that realtors are well equipped to be able to represent their clients efficiently and safely in this new virtual world that we seem to be living in. There's a couple of new changes, and I wanted to record this video quickly to give you some support on how you can best use these tools in your business this weekend. You may have noticed that the Toronto Regional Real Estate Board, as well as many of the boards within Ortis, have released a new option for you to be able to host open houses. Since in the province of Ontario, open houses are now fully illegal as directed by the province, they have allowed an option for you to select, instead of choosing a public open house, instead to choose a virtual open house. The definition of what a virtual open house is ambiguous. There's a couple of different ways that you're able to host a virtual open house, giving prospective buyers a real, honest look at the inside of your listing. So I want to talk about a couple of those methods today. Here's some ideas and suggestions for your virtual open house. First, you need to decide whether to go live on air or pre-record a video for uploading later. I suggest that if you're not already comfortable editing and or uploading video, that you go live. This is simple and throws you right into the deep end. For some not yet comfortable on video, pre-recording it with the intention of uploading it later can potentially fall flat when you watch it and end up too self-critical to post it. Going live on Facebook is easy. From your mobile device, tap to open the app. You may see the live button right here where you're about to type in a new post, but if you tap what's on your mind, it will give you a lot more options. Tap live video down towards the bottom and it'll open up your front-facing camera. When you're ready, hit that blue button down there that says Start Live Video. That's going to turn on your camera and start to notify everybody on your friends list that you're going live. It can be really nerve-wracking, but try not to worry about it too much because the vast majority of realtors right now are all in the same boat and all feeling the same amount of discomfort about speaking to the world when you can't actually see anybody's face. You'll notice just up here, this little button that looks like a camera with a circle and arrows in it, that will switch from your forward-facing camera to your front-facing camera. You can do that before you go live, or I suggest starting with your front-facing camera, doing an introduction of yourself so that people can see you, then tapping that button, flipping to the rear camera, and starting your tour of the home. Try to remember to hold your phone in this upright portrait position rather than sideways in landscape, as Facebook doesn't really like it when you turn your phone sideways when you go live on Facebook. So this is the easier way for people to be able to follow along when they're watching also on their mobile devices as well. As you're hosting your live video, you may see people popping on live. Don't worry if you don't. It doesn't mean that nobody is going to see your video. It might help you be a little bit more comfortable if you're not having anybody watching you live as you're moving through the house. If people are watching live, keep an eye on the comments that you'll see scrolling towards the bottom of your screen while you're live. I wouldn't suggest spending time typing a comment reply to them while you're on your live video, as that may sort of disrupt the flow of your video as you move through the house. But feel free to respond verbally. So if somebody writes a comment and says, "Can you pop back into that third bedroom? I really wanted to have a look at the light fixture in the ceiling," you can see that live and be able to say, "I've had a comment asking me to move back to the bedroom. I'm just going to move back here and take a look at this light fixture." Maybe spend some time talking about it. I can't stress enough, move slowly. Once the video has ended, the live video has ended, people will be able to skip through the video at their leisure. So the more slowly you move, the more attention you're going to keep overall as people are able to move at their own speed once the video is no longer live. When you're done, you'll see a button that says End Live Video. Tap that, wait for the circle that you'll see to complete, and then you can breathe that sigh of relief that you're no longer on live video. When you're done your Facebook Live video, be sure to select the options to post your video to your feed, and be sure to set the privacy options to public so that it can be shared and viewed by anyone regardless of whether or not they are in your friends list. Other options for going live on social media include Instagram, which I only suggest if you already have a strong presence and audience here. Zoom is another option. You could either host a Zoom meeting where you are the only video, allowing people to come into the room and watch only, or if you're comfortable using Zoom already, you may want to allow attendees to speak up and engage with you. Don't forget, a free Zoom account only allows a maximum of 40 minutes for sessions with more than 2 attendees. You may want to experiment a bit offline before you rely on Zoom to go live. Once your open house is no longer live, you may want to upload the video to YouTube or to your Facebook where it has some permanency, giving you the option to share long after your actual scheduled open house is over. The next thing to consider is when. Realtor.ca, Treb, and some Ortus boards, including Omdreb, allow you to schedule your live open house. If you're going live, consider going live earlier in the day rather than at your usual time of 1 or 2 p.m. As many listing agents are intending to host live virtual open houses this weekend, and some of the boards only keep your open house links displayed for the duration that you've set, going earlier will get a full day's exposure and won't conflict with any other open houses being hosted at the same time. If you've pre-recorded your open house or are using a virtual tour provided to you by your visual marketing company, I suggest scheduling for the entire day because your link will remain clickable on Realtor.ca all day. In order to schedule your live open house on the MLS, log into your MLS, whether it's Treb, Mreb, Ortus, whichever you're using, and navigate as though you were uploading or scheduling a regular open house. For example, here on the Toronto Real Estate Board, you're logging into My Profile after you've logged into Stratus and clicking the Add Open House button. Down on the bottom, you're now going to see where it used to say Public Open House versus Agent Open House. You're now actually going to see another option on that drop-down window called Live Stream Open House. It's really important to remember that if you're uploading a pre-recorded video instead of actually going live, that on the date that you're choosing to host this open house, that your start time and your end time is all day. I would recommend going from 8 or 9 a.m. until maybe 7 or 9 p.m. This will ensure that your link remains live all day and people can click on it whenever they come across your listing. If you are going live, I would suggest that you keep the time frame to an hour, potentially 2 hours, and I would obviously aim to start your live video at whatever time that you have put here in this schedule. Down in this section, after you've scheduled the timing, it is going to ask you for a URL to put in this field here. This URL will point consumers in the right direction to make sure that they are accessing the proper video or the proper platform where you intend to go live. If you've hosted a pre-recorded video and you've uploaded it to YouTube, simply find that YouTube link and paste that URL here into this field. If you're going live on Facebook, you'll need to navigate to your Facebook page, whether you're going to your personal page or your business profile. Once you've chosen, navigate to that page. As you can see here, this is my Facebook business page. At the top in the URL bar, you'll see what the website address is for your business page. Simply copy that address, right-click, choose Copy, go back over to your Treb tab, and right-click and hit Paste to put that exact same link in here into this bar. Once you've done so, that link is going to be pushed to Realtor.ca and everywhere else that the board displays upcoming open houses. For example, on this listing on Realtor.ca, we can see that this particular realtor has scheduled a live stream to occur on Saturday, April 11th from 2 till 4 p.m. On Saturday at 2 o'clock, a consumer will come back here and they'll see a new icon. It'll still be these blue lines here, but underneath there will be a red box that says Live. And consumers will be able to click directly on that and it will take them right to the Facebook page where this realtor will be hosting her live virtual open house. If you require any further guidance on how this works or what you're doing in order to make sure that your virtual open house is accessible to anybody looking at your listing, feel free to connect directly with me or with your branch manager. We're all able and willing and looking forward to helping you make your virtual open house a success. As for how long your virtual open house should be, that will depend on the property. Condo apartments, if you're able to access them, could take 10 minutes if it's smaller and you're only focusing on the unit, or it could take an hour if you are able to move through the building and intend to showcase the amenities. Don't forget to account for losing your internet connection in elevators, which could unexpectedly end your live video. The average 2,500 square foot house could take about 20 to 40 minutes to move through thoroughly, potentially more depending on the features of the home and any engagement from your audience if you're live on air. Here's some suggestions for planning a live or pre-recorded walkthrough of your listing. Start from the street out front. Introduce yourself, flip your camera afterwards to give a good view of the curb appeal and what's around. What do the neighbors look like? How many parking spots are there? Take some time to address the community and which way the home faces. Have a plan in advance for moving through the home. Which way are you going to go when you step in the front door? Planning all this in advance will prevent you from potentially missing rooms altogether or things that you intend to highlight. You may want to write your path down on a notepad that you carry with your other hand to give you guidance if you happen to lose track. Move slowly through the home. Try to keep in mind that your goal is to give a buyer an honest perspective of the property. The last thing that you want is to have a buyer really interested in the home based on your video, only to find out later, given the current environment, that the perspective that you gave was a little bit less than accurate. Without focusing on faults, you should consider addressing the imperfections. Prospective buyers will appreciate it, develop trust in you, and give them more confidence in potentially placing an offer without having physically visited the property. For example, if there was once a shower leak that had been remedied, but minor water damage still remained, address that the same way that you would if you were a buyer representative touring a buyer through that home. Take your time. Have I said that yet? Open closets, pull back shower curtains, turn on lights, look out all of the windows. In the kitchen, open appliances, open the cabinets and drawers, the same way that buyers would if they were physically in the home, and especially if there's some great organizational structures worth pointing out. Don't forget to go to the backyard. Don't worry if you take a moment while you're live to put your phone down and grab your shoes if you need to. Don't turn off your live video, just announce what you're doing and put your phone down. Your audience will understand, I promise. Have I suggested yet to move slowly? The worst videos I see are the ones where the host steps into the doorway of a room, does a quick sweep, says, "This is the bedroom," then moves to the next. Step into the room. Take time for the audience to get an idea of what it looks like to be in the room, not just to peek in from the door. If anybody is bored by your video, they'll fast forward later, so don't worry about it. When you're done, make sure the privacy of your post is public and cross-post it to all of your channels. Don't forget to post the address, the price, and the location where in the world this listing is located everywhere. It's really frustrating for buyers to watch a video only to have to ask you later or investigate deeper to find out if they can afford it or if it's in the area that they want to be in. Make sure that this information is really easy to find always. Lastly, set yourself reminders to check in once or twice a day on the post for the next week to see if there's any new comments or shares that you might want to follow up on. Then, get ready to do it all again next week. Some final tips. Remember, visiting your listing shouldn't be a frequent occurrence in the interests of your safety and that of anyone else that might be going into that property. Please do your part to ensure safety during your visit and disinfect where possible before you leave. I also want to talk about a gimbal. You can order these cell phone stabilizers, handheld cell phone stabilizers, for around $100 from almost any online source. You can get them from Best Buy, you can get them from Amazon, or you can get them directly from the source. The one that I have is called a DJI Osmo Mobile 2, and I like it a lot. What you do is you put your cell phone in the device, and then it's got a little joystick for you to be able to move your camera up and down. It's also a stabilizer, so as you're walking through a house holding the device, it helps to keep it steady. As you can see, when I move it around, it holds the angle that it's looking at and actually moves the phone really slowly to get a more professional shot. You can have your phone in landscape mode, or you can have it in portrait mode. You just have to re-stabilize it before you switch the mode. These can come in really handy either when you're walking through a house with the forward-facing camera, or to get that extra reach in selfie mode and make sure that your shot is always perfect. These are really handy if you think that you're going to be doing more of these kinds of videos in the future of your business, and I highly suggest getting one. That's it for your crash course on virtual open houses. Remember guys, there's a ton of realtors out there this weekend doing this for the first time just like you are. It's not about making sure that you are displayed as awesomely as possible like an actor or an actress on a YouTube channel. It's not about that. If you stumble over your words or need to stop and start a sentence again so that you can get the sentence out properly, it's okay. It's not about you. It's just about giving a buyer a good perspective of what it's like to be in your listing. If you're not hosting a virtual open house this weekend, try and block out some time to see what else is out there. Get some ideas of what other realtors are doing. You'll realize really quickly what you like and what you don't like about what others are doing, and hopefully we'll be able to apply that to yours if you have a listing coming up before this crisis is over. So if you're out there this weekend, be safe, have fun, go slow, breathe deep, and good luck. For those of you that aren't out there this weekend, stay safe and enjoy your long weekend. Talk to you guys soon.